Hey guys, so that's what we're gonna be making today. According to the reference, it looks like this. So it's pretty close. It's just I didn't feel like putting people in there, but it gets the basic gist of it. Let's start. So you don't really have to make that triangle, you just spawn in a circle. Boom. And then just turn it all the way down to get a triangle. Alright, cool. Now you just want to scale this out a little bit just to get that kind of, triangle effect. Solidify modifier. Okay, great. Bring it out a little bit. Yeah, okay. For the array modifier, this work gets kind of complicated. Turn off relative offset and put a object offset. Put in a plane, RX 90. Okay, just RY, RZ 90. Too lazy. Take the eyedropper, boom, and then boom, you got it. Now I just need to increase it by a lot. That looks good. Maybe bring it out a little bit like that. Yeah, okay. So you want to apply that, so you have all that. And then you want to select these vertices to get the kind of, so we can bring the edges and then put the pipes around it. The pipes aren't that hard. It looks kind of scary, but it's not. So bring that out a little bit. And now here's where it gets kind of cool. You can bring in a curve and just kind of, this is where the power of 3D comes from. If the viewer can't see it, don't care about it. So bring you around town and then just kind of make it look like it's wrapping around, just really lazily. And then you're gonna want to use an array. Well, first before we do that, I remember messing with this. You gotta turn the depth, because if you don't turn on the depth now, it'll mess with the array, and you'll have it set up, and then yeah. So you want to mess with really the Y and the Z. Don't mess with the X. No, it's because, so turn the X to 0, and then you just want to array the rest of it. Boom. And now you can just do X, Y, -1, then bring it over, and then you have it. So here's where it gets kind of cool. You can randomize it yourself. I'm not really doing that procedurally. So select both the wires and then object convert mesh. You could just put in convert mesh and it'll work. F3, just by the way, F3 does that. Then you have it as geometry, and then you want to turn on this. This is a proportional editing, or click O. That'll turn it on if you're into hotkeys like me. And then you can just kind of mess with how the wires are going. You can actually control L and turn that down, and it'll mess with the direction. Yeah, so that kind of randomizes it a little bit. Just make it look like it wasn't copied around, We don't want that. And then what you want to do is you want to, I should have done this earlier, but just do the same thing I did earlier. And there's some bottom ones we can do, like down here. And then you can just rotate that down. And boom, you have 3 things of pipes from this one piece of work. So that's pretty cool. Spawn in a plane. And I edited the plane, but I feel like that's I don't think it's that worst idea. So just divide it in half, and then divide those halves in halves, and divide those halves in halves. And now what we can do is we can divide that half in half again. So maybe bring you around near the triangle. We want some steppy steps. So now what we want to do is we want to start doing the walkway. So just extrude this down, then divide that in half again, extrude these guys up. This is where our lights are going to be, sort of. Yeah, so our lights are going to be like around here, because you can see in the Pinterest, we have some lights, so. Alright, let's just add some little more detail. There's some pillars, there's some pillar type stuff going on. Add you over here, and then we can duplicate you around. There we go. And then boom, boom. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe just bring that out a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, now let's make the lights. Lights aren't that hard. We can just spawn in a box. Boom. And kind of bring you up a little bit. That's a little bit too big. So we only need one, because we're just going to use an array modifier and a mirror modifier. That's a weird one. That gets kind of weird. Yeah, bring that to about like 7.4. Boom. Then a mirror modifier, so we can mirror, and then So we want to select this and do object. Okay, it's right in the middle, so we can select with the eyedropper as a plane, and click Y, and then it'll work. So now we can subdivide. Actually, I want to go about there. Subdivide I, just to inset individual faces. You can click I twice, and then we have our. We can select you, emit, Control I. Boom. Okay, that's set up. And here's where the plane comes in. We're setting up our lights, so the plane, that's why I kept that in there. You can use this an emissive texture right here. Boom. Okay, great. So just one last thing with the modeling bit. I'm gonna add in the little army of boxes around. So all we really need to do, I was lazy, I used the lights. I just got rid of the mirror modifier. And we don't need the light for all that stuff, so. And then all I really did was I made another array modifier. That's a bevel, whoopsie. Array. And maybe scale it down a little bit? Yeah. And then turn up the amount, and then turn up the amount back here, and then we have like a little army going on. Boom. Okay, great. You just find some random boxes going kind of vertical, because that's kind of in the, like this. That's in the reference, so. There we go. Great. One last thing before we get to texturing. We just want to, set up the camera, just make sure everything's in view alright. So it's more wider angle scene, so we're going to make it around 24 to 35 millimeters for it to look like. There we go. Okay, just scale this up and out. Kind of lazy. Not be lazy. 100 views, go to cycles. Alright, so here's where some bridge comes in. Quixel bridge. I'll link the asset that I use in the description. I use a stone asset. And that's all you really need. The stone asset was really it, so. But we're not going to use just a stone asset. Well, we are, but we're going to mess with it a little bit, like, of course. So we're going to need 2 color ramps. So invert the color ramp for the base color. First we're going to unwrap it, so go to tab, U, Q projection. No, it's okay. Go over to UV editor. Boom. Scale it up a little bit. Alright, cool. Bring that down so it doesn't just. So black is pure roughness and white isn't, so white's not going to reflect anything, and then black will reflect everything. We don't want either, really. So just kind of mess that a little bit. And then boom, we have a nice. Oh, I need it. There we go. Great. Ow. Shortcut. We want to turn down the world environment, so we go to shader world and then turn that down so we get a more darker effect. Great. Now just copy everything. You can just kind of use the same material. So this is really the easiest part. It was just modeling that was really a pain. We just want some light, so I'm gonna add 2 point lights around the edges. Just right here, just for a little vignette, I guess. Okay. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, we wanna complete the material over here. Boom. Point light. Let's turn that up a little bit. Maybe a lot. Yeah. Turn up the size. Oh, that's good. And I think we got a finished product. That's pretty good. Alright. So that's about it. If you want to watch compositing, I'll link that in the description again. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.